I've just bought this McLaren 600 LT and it was so cheap, I just couldn't say no. I received a message saying that their friend has crashed a McLaren and was looking to sell it. And just from looking at the photos, the damage doesn't look too bad. The only issue is that the car was all the way in Greece. But as the damage of the car didn't look too bad and the price was good, I committed to buying it sight unseen.
After 6 hours, we finally put it in. Matt, good luck taking this out.
The McLaren was then trailered all the way back from Greece to the UK before finally arriving with me. The day is Wednesday the 29th of July and I want to have this car rebuilt by next Wednesday, and for that to even be possible we need to get the car inside and start stripping apart all the damaged parts and work out what we need to order. I've got a vision for this car of what I want it to look like at the end, and I just hope we can make that come true. Let's get it inside, let's go. I am excited for this one. The 600 LT only weighs 1.3 tonne and has nearly 600 horsepower from standard.
And then you look in the rearview mirror and you see flames. This car is just alive.
But if I've got any hope in rebuilding this in 7 days, we need to inspect the damage.
Whoa.
McLaren is in the air, ready for assessment. I've noticed something bad, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. This didn't get as far as the insurance because the guy had the car in Germany, drove it to Greece, crashed it in Greece, and then his insurance told him that it wasn't insured to drive in Greece. So it hasn't gone as far as the insurance. So that's good news for me, but also bad news because the insurance hasn't assessed it, and I could only assess it over WhatsApp photos. So we took the risk, and we have found a little bit more damage than usual, as we always do. To start off with, get the trailer out and let's start just getting all the broken parts off, and then we can kind of make a tally. Now, to make the 600 LT as light as possible, McLaren tried to save weight everywhere. Carbon bucket seats, shorter exhaust systems, lighter suspension, and near enough every panel is made from carbon fibre. So a lot of this stuff could be pretty expensive. First step, what I want to do, just to eliminate anything, is see if this car actually runs. And to get it running, we need a good running battery. It's a lithium-ion battery. It's a genuine McLaren one that's on it. I want to try and revive it. It's completely flat, but to get to it, really we've got to remove this tub, and we're going to have to remove it anyway. And I do think there's a pyro fuse on it, which we'll get to. That could stop us from starting it. First off, let's remove this. Out we come. The battery for the McLaren is right under the tub here. And it's important we try and revive this because even a second-hand one is over £2.5 grand. Because they're these special lithium-ion batteries, which are like lightweight ones. So to get to it, I'm removing this tub, and then we're gonna get the battery charger onto it. Okay, we're gonna need a tub, definitely. We're broken in the corner, we're broken at the top. Unfortunate, but I don't think there'll be too much. But now we can access the battery.
Did he crash into the beach at Greece?
Yeah, it looks like he has. Here we go. There's a pyro fuse, and we all know what the pyro fuse does. Cuts power going to the starter motor, which is there. Before we even try and attempt to start it, when we get a good battery, we should check to see if the pyro fuse is any good. I imagine it's going to be off a Mercedes on this, because they use a lot of Mercedes electrics. We'll check the continuity on it, and we'll see. We all know by now that the pyro fuse blows when the car is in an accident, stopping you from restarting it, causing any fires, or just damaging the engine. The only reason I think it's blown in the McLaren is because the airbag is blown on the driver's side door. So before we even attempt to start it, we're going to check whether this one is any good. When these two touch, makes a beep, shows it makes a connection. Let's see if we get a beep across here. Oh no, no beep. So that means no power going to go to the starter motor. So that means we need a new pyro fuse. If you try and order that from McLaren, no doubt they'll try and sell you the whole fuse box. I'm not even going to ring them, because if we just take that pyro fuse off, we'll be able to find the part number, get it off eBay for like 10 quid. Experience
you proud of your son's experience?
He's learnt a lot in it over the years.
Oh God, what was the torque spec on that? 5,000. It's right. It's likely if you call up Mclaren to order a pyro fuse, they won't sell you it separately. And if they will, it's going to be expensive. So I'm just popping off the old one now that I can inspect it, check the part numbers and see exactly what other car this fuse has come off. But you can see clearly that this one has broke. Look at that. That is supposed to be joined to that. And you can see it even more when I take out the two terminals. That is supposed to be joined. If that were joined, it would stop. So for Mercedes, for £13.15. So this pyro fuse is used in loads of Mercedes. And it's only going to cost us £13.15 to replace. So with that on order, I can now put the battery on charge and hope it revives. Right, we're going to lose one day of waiting for this to charge now. Oh, it's going though. Go on. First step complete. Battery looks like it has revived itself. Sometimes when you turn them off and then turn it back on, we stayed at 13.6. And when we turn it off before, it's just dropping straight back down to nothing. So the battery seems like it's revived itself. The pyro fuse is on order, but what we can do to see if it actually runs now is jump the pyro fuse from here over to where it's constantly got power. So at the minute it bridges that gap, we're going to put this on this side where there's constant power here from the 12 volt. Then we'll see if it will start. We know we've got a broken radiator, so we don't want to run it for too long. We just need to know whether it starts, because if it does start, so far we haven't spent anything, only the money to get it back to the UK. Let's do that. So to get it started temporary, we're taking the starter motor wire away from the side of the pyro fuse it's supposed to be connected to, and then just connecting it to constant power. And then when we press the start button inside the car, we should then hear the Mclaren start up. Okay, let's see if this starts. I have no doubt that it should start. No oil leaks on the back, no oil coolers damage, just the water one at the front. Mclaren. Parking brake not applied. Can't do that because the back wheel's a mess. Go. I've got ignition. Yeah! Why is the alarm going off? Why is the alarm going off? Yeah! Sounds good.
Sounds smooth.
Why is the alarm going off? Shut up! Why is the alarm going off? Is the alarm being hit or something? Airbag fault, ABS fault, all the faults on. But at least the car started up first time. Run smooth.
Why does he keep doing that?
Shut up!
Oh my god.
Good news then, the Mclaren starts. Now, we need to turn our attention to the damaged parts. Let's start by removing all of the broken parts, and then we can work out exactly what we need to order. First thing we're going to start off with is the front bumper. And actually, some of this might be savable. Seeing that? Do you know why front bumper and front end's in a million pieces rather than just one, Toby?
I don't know.
It's to keep the insurance premiums down. That's actually true. The more pieces a front bumper is made out of, then the easier it is for the insurance if a car does have an accident. It's likely they'll only need to replace little parts of the bumper instead of buying an entire thing, which keeps that premium down. Unlucky for the right hand side front wheel, that's had a bit of damage, but generally the right hand side suspension looks alright. Now I'm removing the arch lining on the front right so I can access the bolts to remove this front bumper. And it looks like to get the bumper out, I've got to remove the headlights first. Boom! Good headlight.
Tony, do you like McLarens?
Yeah, this is going to be a good car.
Some people say they're for nerds.
Nerds? You can't say that.
I generally think McLarens are some of the best driving cars. Just sometimes they're a little unreliable. But good news for us, both headlights look okay, but this lower splitter does have a bit of damage to it. Yeah, right. I think the body shop will be able to solve this. It should save us a lot, because this is all well expensive. Because it's all carbon fibre. Look, this is all made out of carbon. Then it's painted over, so it's so expensive from McLaren. So if we don't have to replace it, way better. Again, the bumper being in multiple different parts has ended up in our favour. The headlights are all good, and the lower end of the bumper looks like it could be repaired. We just need to replace the left cheek of it, which my dad's got here. Next thing we need to take a look at is the under tray, because surprisingly, this is ridiculously expensive. £4 second hand for that under tray.
That is ridiculous.
I think we'll be getting our carbon guy to repair the carbon on that. Why would you put something of that value so close to the ground? Those speeds. £4,000 for a second-hand under tray. We're definitely going to be trying to repair this. The good news, it is in one piece, and there's only 2 little bits of damage at the front, so we might get away with it. Okay, so Neutron's about to take all the broken panels to the body shop that we think are repairable. And I think this is one of them as well. It's going to save us a bit of money getting that repaired. Can't call me a cheapskate. We're saving money here. Hopefully this could be fixed. Again, another benefit of having the bumper in separate pieces. Right, what needs to be fixed on this? This left cheek of the bumper is damaged, but it might actually be repairable. It is all in one piece, and these tabs could just be glued back on. So we're sending all the parts which have little scuffs and scrapes in them now to the body shop, in hopes that they could touch them up and get them back to us within the week. Still got damaged panels on. We've still got a damaged wing. So we're going to remove that wing, and we know we need to get this airbag out and the door card off there. I've got another suspicion as well that the seat belts might have a fault on, because they should lock out in an accident. But these seat belts haven't locked out, but that's not to say they don't have a fault on them. So probably scan the car to check that. But for now, let's get the wing off and the door card off, and then we can start working out what's broken here as well. Off we go. Unfortunately, it looks like the front left wing isn't going to be repairable. But fortunately, the front left wing is made out of aluminium, not carbon fibre like a lot of the other panels, which makes it a lot cheaper than the carbon fibre parts. Right, this door's broken, very broken. The mirror might be okay. We definitely got to get the door card off, and we definitely got to get that airbag out. I don't know whether we definitely need to take the seat belts out. We need to scan the car for that. So I might do the definitely jobs first.
What have you found? You might need some of those, to be fair.
It's always interesting what you find in these salvage cars. But let's say that box of pills could make this job a little bit harder. All we've got to do now is remove this door card, because this is definitely going to need to be repaired, because the airbag has broken open the top piece.
Oh my god.
A lot of the door card is on clips, but also there are some bolts in some hidden places, like behind the switches here. Once all the bolts are out, we can lift the door card off, and there's one last speaker we need to disconnect so we can get to the wire behind it and pull that loose. Then the door card will come away from the car. Here's the airbag. We've got to get this airbag out, and because there's no holes in it, it can actually be repaired. New explosive in it. We can put it all back in. We've got to send that to the airbag team. And the actual door card, got this tear in here. That's got to be re-stitched and fixed. The door card can also go to the airbag team, and they can re-stitch the Alcantara and repair it back to the OEM standards. So that way, if the airbag does blow again, it'll work in the exact same way. Because I imagine ordering a door card from McLaren is not only going to be expensive, it's also going to be a long wait, because each door card is different depending on spec. Right, okay, this job could either get could be easier, or it could get a bit harder from here, because there's no other airbags which have gone off in this car. But if the seat belts have got a fault on them, then we're going to have to remove the seat belts, which we which means removing a lot of trim inside here. It's already coming to bits because we won't say why, because it is a McLaren. I'll scan the car for fault codes and we'll see if the seat belts have a fault code in them. If they don't, that is an absolute breeze. We've just got to worry about the exterior. And we could, the 7 days build is looking pretty, I'm not going to say it, Let's get the battery connected and we'll scan it. This is going to decide whether the job gets slightly harder and a little bit more expensive. Right now I'm scanning the fault codes that are on the car, and there is a lot. But we're looking specifically for ones with the seatbelt. That's taken out. Driver belt pre-tensioner above limit and passenger belt pre-tensioner above limit. Driver side crash recorded. So the seatbelts have got to come out. Even though they're not locked out, we have a fault in them. So that means we won't get the airbag light off the dash if we don't replace them. So we've got to get the seatbelts out. Unfortunately, these faults for the seatbelts mean they've got to be removed and fixed. They have explosives in there which detonate when the airbags deploy to hold the driver and passenger in place. And if we don't replace these, we're going to have that airbag fault on the dashboard regardless of how much we fix this car. And then that isn't going to pass an MOT test, which means it's not road legal on the roads in the UK. So they've got to be fixed. To get to the seat belts is pretty tricky. They're sort of in a cage behind the seats, and I'm guessing for some kind of protection in case the explosive caused any heat damage to anything. Once I've unbolted the cage, the top of the seat belt will come out, then I've just got to unbolt it from the bottom of the seat. My dad's doing the same on the other side. There's the seat belt. The issue is this explosive here. So where this goes in, little explosive inside that, blows off, and it's supposedly meant to lock the seatbelt out. This one hasn't locked out, but there's obviously a fault with it. I don't think it's supposed to sound like that. Another job done. Both seatbelts and door card and airbag off. These are all got to go to the airbag team, and then they should be all reset. Same original ones could go back in. So whilst we wait for them and the seatbelt lady to turn up, we should inspect the damage on the front, the suspension and the radiator, get those two bits off as well, and then we move to the back. So the next step is this front radiator, which my dad is starting to remove now.
It's supposed to be square, well, rectangular shaped. And it is no longer rectangular shaped.
This radiator has definitely seen better days, so we've got to get it replaced.
Not a lot of coolant in that.
And on top of that, it looks like the surround and holder is broken as well, which is just made out of plastic, so it can't be too expensive. That's the radiator off and a new one put on order. Now to see what damage has been caused to this front suspension. It looks like it's just disconnected from the lower ball joint and yammed backwards. And alongside that, it looks like it's broken the carbon disc as well, which isn't going to be cheap. And unfortunately, there's no way of saving a cracked carbon disc. Next thing to come off is the track rod end, but that looks all good and the ball joint feels good as well. Next off is the drop link, which connects to the anti-roll bar. Once we've got that off, I can start removing the lower control arm, which holds a lot of the suspension together. And once this was off, most of it dropped to pieces. And we can see that Mclaren also used shims to adjust the alignment. Is definitely finished. That's done. That is bent as a banana, and it has took bottom of the damper with it as well. So now all the spring can just fall off it. So we need a damper, a lower arm, possibly a top arm, and I'd like to replace the wheel hub. Drop link as well. Look at the drop link. That's got a little kink to it. As this stuff is all aluminium and aluminium bends, it's worth replacing all of it. Same part number as a McLaren Senna and 720S, and with a wheel hub. Get in there. 495 for the front. Okay, I'm gonna buy it. £495 for a wheel hub and a top arm isn't so bad. But I've got a feeling the actual suspension strut with the spring is going to be a lot more expensive than that. Next thing to get off is the top arm and the wheel hub, because we have that new one on order. And although it doesn't look bent, you just never know with these aluminium parts. Okay, all the suspension that we think is damaged is off. Got that on order. There is a little bit more damage here, which eagle-eye viewers may have seen, but we'll get to that, That part, we can't fix ourselves, but we're gonna come to it towards the end of the video. We know the door's damaged, not took that off just yet. For now, this is our main concern. This is where it looks like majority of the damage actually was, although there's no real body panel damage. And like, it looks like the wheel is hit back, damaged the rear bumper, but I don't know how the wheels ended up like that, with nothing else. It's just completely detached, isn't it? It's like it's ripped up a curb or something. We've got to get this off, and we've got to hope there's no damage to the subframe and there's no damage to the actual frame when this all comes out, or the gearbox, because the drive shaft ain't looking good. Out we go.
Tony, what do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Yeah.
He hit something.
I think my dad's right. They did hit something.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a caliper we need, because that's broke.
Look at that wheel. That is mental.
And that's the third wheel that we've seen in a bad way. I guess these lightweight Mclaren wheels don't do so well in an accident. Next off, the arch lining's coming off, so we can see if there's any more damage behind it all. Yeehaw. And of course, there was. Pretty much all the suspension on the back, including the drive shaft, was completely broken. So everything is going to come off this rear left. And all of it I've got to order. So out to remove the wheel hub and all the suspension arms. And the next thing to come out is the drive shaft. Then this rear track rod. Whilst I was doing that, Neutron headed over to the airbag team.
There you go, 2 seat belts to be reset.
Thank you very much.
And there's a door card and was that door airbag,
Door
I think?
airbag for the Mclaren,
Yeah, sounds good.
No problem, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, we're looking good. We've got all the damaged suspension off the back. I think I'm going to replace this brake caliper. It's had a bit of a whack there. I'm not going to risk it because it is brakes after all. The only thing is, I've ordered a second-hand one and it's yellow, so we're going to have to try and match that paint to the caliper when it comes. We've got a broken under tray off, just down there. It's not too bad though. And then here's all the damaged suspension. We've got the handbrake caliper, that's broken, ordered a new one of them. We've got a drive shaft that's broken, rear tie rod that's broken, actual suspension unit with the spring and damper that's broken, and then everything here I want to replace. Like, I'm going to replace the wheel hub. It's had a massive hit, so I think it's worth just replacing everything on the back left. The good thing is that most of the bodywork is in place, which is pretty good. Now, some stuff has arrived, so I think we can almost start actually rebuilding stuff now, which is going to be exciting. The rear drop links arrived, the drive shafts arrived, the suspension at the back's arrived, the rear tie rod has arrived, and the upper and lower arm at the rear has arrived. Time to get fitting it all. Luckily, the rear frame, where all of this bolts to, looks all good. Because previously, I've seen before, the suspension arm has ripped out of them. Suspension next! And caused damage to that rear frame. But for us, we're all good. On goes the rear suspension, and because the rear suspension is electronically activated for the different modes, you've got to plug it in, then we can bolt it to the rear arm. Looking good. Next up, the link that drops. Yep, it's the drop link. This bolts to the rear arm, then connects to the anti-roll bar. Okay, tighten that up at the top and at the bottom. Next up, drive shaft. They're not bolted in, it's just literally pushes into the gearbox. A few pushes into the gearbox, and we're in. Ready for our wheel hub, which we don't have yet. This can all be connected to the wheel hub, along with a disc, caliper, and handbrake caliper, which we are waiting for. But that's so far not too bad. We've got a broken airbox, that's also on order. That should come. but we're looking good so far at the back of the car. So whilst we're waiting for parts, we can crack on with some parts that have arrived for the front as well. Okay, whilst we wait for the rest of the stuff to arrive, we do have a radiator from Mclaren, but the shrouding is not available. So what I think we're going to do is slot this in place, fit the radiator, see if we can reuse the shrouding which holds it, and then we might be able to get it running to temperature. Now I have ordered this shrouding, it's just 50-50 whether it's actually going to show up. So for now, I'm just trying to recycle this shrouding that we've got, sliding the new radiator into it, and then just using some bigger washers on the bolts so that the shrouding can bolt and stay in place. And that's all fitted now. Right, radiator's in. I am debating whether to vacuum fill it or just fill it up and run it to temperature. Now the radiators are on the front. It all depends of whether the air can escape, because what happens is the coolant, you pour it in and you get an airlock and then it will overheat, but if the air can escape and the coolant tank's high enough, the air should rise into the coolant tank. I can't remember on my 720S what I did. Let's fill it with coolant then and get it running to temperature, and we're one step closer. We're doing really good, and we've been like taking our time as well. Right, to the back. So to fill your coolant up on a Mclaren, first you need an Allen key. You've got to remove these two screws, and that removes, well, the engine cover. Yeah. Coolant tank is here. It's quite high up. We might be alright. I'm just going to pour coolant straight into the coolant tank and hope we don't get any airlocks.
Do you think this is going to work?
I've got mixed feelings.
I think this will work on this, because look how high the coolant reservoir is. Right, I've got things wedged in the brakes, put the battery on.
I like it, that's cool.
We need to wedge things in the brake caliper because we're going to need brake pressure to start the car. Right. Start filling it up. Sounds smooth, doesn't it? I was just adding some coolant whilst it was running to make sure it stayed at the correct level. So we'll make sure it's not going on the floor.
It's definitely getting better at pouring, isn't it?
And everything was looking good. No leaks so far.
Yeah, you look alright.
The temperature is sitting at 53 degrees at the minute, and we're looking for it to reach 90 and stay there. And it does look like the air was escaping from the reservoir. The temperature then went up to 91.
91.
88.
Oh.
Fans must have come on. 87. Yeah, I think we're clear. What a car! Things were going really well. Who would have thought rebuilding a Mclaren would be this smooth and easy? But we've still got a long way to go. And we're only 2 days in. I reckon we could have this done. What we think about the colour, I think the comments need to say about the colour. I do actually like silver. I think it's becoming trendy again. The next day, the rear wheel hub showed up. I got this second hand off eBay, which was from a 720S, and they seem to have the exact same wheel hubs. So I'm fitting this to the car now, bolting all the arms to it, then the drive shaft, and then using a hammer and punch to lock the drive shaft bolt into place. And that is almost one rear left suspension complete. We're just waiting for a brake disc and brake calipers to turn up. Next up, I want to get this door off. There's no saving it. All the electronics for it are underneath the front wing, the airbag connection, the electric connection, and I think the wing mirror connection. And once I've undone them, I can start undoing the 4 bolts which hold the hinge to the door. Then we can lift it away from the hinge.
Okay, is it out?
Is it ever?
Not really. Oh, it's stuck on my shorts, it's stuck on my shorts. It's stuck on my shorts. It's stuck on my shorts. Can you unshort me?
Oh my god, how's he done that?
That's proper wedge, that.
How's he done that?
I'm stuck! Yes, not stuck. I'm holding my shorts.
Small problem we've noticed. Things were going too smooth. This hinge, broken. Cast aluminium. I think I know a guy. and we're gonna have to call him, aren't we? Should we see if he's free?
Yo,
Yo!
how's it going?
Good.
Oh, hung up.
It is a hinge off a Mclaren, the door hinge, and it's cast aluminium. Can you fix that?
There we go.
So whilst we waited for Bob from the machine shop to come down to see if he could fix the door hinge on the Mclaren, I started stripping apart the old door, taking apart the window regulator, the window out, and leaving the old door completely bare, ready for the new one. Here is the door. This is how it comes. So the door is part aluminium and it's part carbon fibre. This bit is carbon fibre and it's actually bonded to the door. You can see where it's bonded here because a little bit has come away. But the thing is, to build this door up, there is so many pieces and I've taken off a load of this door. We've got aluminium pieces, we've got plastic pieces, we've got window regulator. This is the actual, sits inside the door, and all of this is literally just for the door switch to open and close the door. I don't know how, I'm trying to remember how everything went back together. There's seals, there's clips, there's everything, and it only goes in one particular way. So I'm gonna do it bit by bit and try and remember it. I think the first thing to go in, because this was the last thing I took out, was the door handle. This door handle sort of slides in between the carbon fibre and clips in place. Then I can put the wing mirror in place, bolt that on with 3 bolts, then start sliding in the wiring loop. After that, the aluminium piece goes on the back of the door and the bolts for it are on the inside. This is again, got a lot of adjustment in. So I'm just gonna nip it up and then we're gonna have to test it in the car before we tighten anything up. So just nip it up so it don't fall out. The window needs to be aligned with the bodywork and we can't do that until the door is on the car. So we need Bob.
Bob,
Hello.
you're back.
I am back. We're fixing a hinge. Do you need hinges fixing as well?
Ah, funny, nice.
Don't know if it's weldable. I've never welded on a McLaren before. We'll get the door back on, bolt it to these holes, then we'll bolt that one on. So we know that that flat surface is on the same plane as that flat surface. Put some tack welds around it, take the door off, then weld it.
And if it doesn't weld, like, why would that be?
So there's a number on here, ALZN5MG. That's the type of alloy. Some are weldable, some aren't. Hopefully this is weldable. It doesn't look weldable. Sometimes you can tell when the surface is kind of weird and janky looking like that. But some stuff is weldable, some isn't. Let's try it.
If Bob's got any hope in welding this door hinge, he's got to make sure that all the paint and the area is nice and clean where he's going to be welding to. As Bob said, this part is not only just aluminium. There's parts of magnesium in there and I think zinc. But to see if it's weldable, first we're going to hang on the old broken door to the broken hinge so then Bob can line up the hinge correctly before he starts tack welding it on. So in goes the bolts. Now, time to see if we can tack weld it in place.
Is it weldable?
Yep. Easy.
Never in doubt. Not a problem for Bob. There's not much he can't fix. Now that that's tack welded in place, we can lift the old door out and now Bob can begin the proper TIG welding of the broken bit of the hinge to the rest of it.
You seem to have caught fire.
I like that shirt.
Oh, now you're looking good.
It's all welded now. We just need to make this surface as flat as I can and then just tidy up the outsides, make it look pretty.
So with that all welded, Bob's now sanding down the shape so it sits nice and flat, ready for B to paint. Big up, Bob. He's saved us a hinge there, which is about 300 quid on eBay, but also about 3 or 4 days wait. So that is all welded up now. Just gonna give it a bit of etch primer and a bit of paint and we can finally hang the new door along with loads of other body panels which have turned up. So let me get my Picasso skills on.
good job he's not a graffiti artist.
Once the etch primer had dried, I could then go over it with the satin black. This is just to protect it from any corrosion, and that's good enough for me. Once the paint had dried, we can now hang on the new door, sliding it onto the hinge that Bob's just repaired, putting in a few bolts, and then connecting up all the electrical connections at the front, which sat just underneath the wing. First step, gonna do the window down just to make sure it don't clatter into anything. So, connect the battery up. Oh my God, did the windows go down?
Yeah. Oh.
Why is it doing that?
that?
Oh, I ain't got the door card. Right, now let's see. Now we've got to line it up with the body panel. Before we start trying to align the window, we've got to make sure the door is in line with the panels. And at the minute, it's just a little off. In fact, it's almost too close to the rear quarter. And at the bottom, it's quite far out. That needs to go like that, doesn't it? So to adjust this door, I've got to loosen off the hinges at the front, move it round there, and my dad is going to loosen the catch at the back. This took a fair amount of time before we was happy, but once we were, we have to tighten it all up. Next up, we have got to line the window, but we've just realised I've sent the door card away to the airbag team, and inside the door card was the window switch to do the window up.
I think Tony will have a solution to that.
Yeah, I can bypass
I
the
bet you do, yeah.
So now that we're happy with where the door sits, on the quarter panel, at the top and at the bottom, my dad's going to align the window.
Okay, so we're bypassing the electric window motor now. Well, not bypassing the motor, we're bypassing all the electrics that goes to the motor.
How are we doing that?
And then we're gonna put 2 wires onto the motor here, because it does have this big plug lock, but only 2 of those have got thick wires, which are going to be the power wires that operate the motor. So if we can connect another wire to that and another different wire to that, and then that'll bypass everything but the motor, so it won't do any damage to anything else, which is super duper result.
So my dad's now connecting on his positive and ground wire directly to the window motor, so we can send it up and down to adjust it to sit in the door right.
You ready? That's down.
Oh.
Oh, crunchy nut cereal.
Oh yeah, there's something wrong with the cable, with the cables.
Whilst my dad is gonna carry on aligning the window up, because it's a bit of a finicky job, before I fit the wing, we got a new one of these, because like this is it's a bit broken and it's a bit everywhere and we think it's just gonna rattle around and break. So we got a new one, it's arrived, I'm gonna fit this, then we can fit the wing. We're getting all to the last bits now. Let's get this off, fit it in. Good news, the radiator shroud actually turned up. So out goes the old one and in goes the new one. Now it's going to be completely fresh at the front. And whilst I was doing that, some of the parts returned from being painted at the body shop, like the front wing and the front bumper.
Whoa, silver.
It's good, doesn't it?
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Here we go. Old wing, new wing that we got from Mclaren and sent to the body shop to have painted. Lovely stuff. So now I can actually slide on the wing to the car. I'm going to bolt this in loosely because when I close the door, I want to make sure I can align it not only with the door, but also the bonnet as well. All of this took a lot of time, but eventually we got somewhere.
My adjustments are done. Look at that.
Oh.
Super duper.
That's lovely, that, Tony. That was good.
That's better than OEM, that.
Is it?
I'd like to think so.
Do you think McLaren will offer you a job?
I don't want them to.
Next up, the front bumper, and this is the original part of the bumper. That's the original part, that's the original part. The only thing that's new is this little piece here, which the body shop have painted, and that little piece there, which the body shop have also painted. Everything else is reused. Again, we've done well. We've just got to fit it to the car. Slowly but surely, it is coming together nicer. And when this goes on, I'm hoping more and more it's going to look like it's not been in an accident. And that's the thing. There's a lot of cars on the road which you can't tell have been in an accident. And sometimes the only way to find out is to check them out using Car Vertical.
Oh, would you look at this?
To check a car out on Car Vertical, you simply just enter the VIN or the registration plate, and then it will give you the full history of that car. It will tell you whether it's ever been stolen, whether it's ever been exported, whether it's ever had any mileage fraud, and whether it's ever been in an accident. And if it has, it might even show you photos of when the car was auctioned off at the car crash auction site.
Side skirt.
Not new. Repaired.
Repaired. That way there was a hole there.
There's not a hole there anymore.
Car Vertical is literally the perfect bartering tool, I think. If you find out some hidden history about a car that you might not know about and you're buying it, you could either use that information to walk away or maybe barter the seller down. The cool thing is that you can see a full timeline of the car, even down to if it's ever had a personal number plate on it. Yeah, that's looking sick. Brand new. Brand new. Remember to check your car out on Car Vertical. Do it with the link in the description box below and use the discount code which is on the screen now to save some money on that check. We're so close to almost getting this back on the road. Sometimes we hit these cars and the headaches, and sometimes gone pretty good. This one has gone well so far. I dread to say it, but we might actually do this quite easily. Here's our old pyro fuse, which you remember which was broken. And here's our lovely one off eBay. Not a problem. That's gonna now do the proper job of bridging the gap rather than the jumping it way how we did it. So, let's get the new one on. If we didn't put the pyro fuse back in, then again, we'd have a constant airbag light on the dash. Because there's those two signal wires which clip into the pyro fuse to tell the car that it's all good. But now that we've fitted a new one, we're one step closer for this car being faultless. Another thing you might notice is that this area is pretty dirty and sandy. So before we finished up, we decided to give it a bit of a clean and wash down, which brought it up really nice. Last day today, we're on exactly a week. Bearing in mind we have had a lot of time waiting for parts and we haven't been on the car the whole time. I reckon we might get done or very close to being done today. The next job is this rear bumper thing. Again, this has been repaired. There's a few broken tabs at the top. I don't think it's worth replacing the whole thing just for a few broken tabs. So we're going to try and make sure that that fits on somehow when we put it in. So I'm going to slide the back bumper cheek into place and then bolt on the tabs which the body shop have glued back on, and then we're just going to use a bigger washer and a nut to hold it to the rear quarter, which all seems to work. Then the reflector can go in place and I think that looks as good as new. Brake disc, carbon fibre, 1,400 quid off eBay. That looks mega, doesn't it?
That's the nicest brake disc I've ever seen.
The good thing about these carbon discs is that they do last a lot longer than steel. But one thing that didn't last long was this handbrake caliper. And that's next. This is the old handbrake caliper and it's completely broken. We've got a new one off of Mclaren 720S, which does look the same. So I'm hoping that'll work. The Mclaren uses a separate handbrake caliper. I can only assume so it gives time for the actual brakes to cool if you've been on a track day or something. The old caliper off the rear, which we're not going to risk because it's had a bit of a big hit and it's a bit too risky to risk on brakes. So I've got a new caliper, but it's orange. We want to match it to that. So I sent the yellow caliper off to the body shop and a few days later, it come back orange. I think the body shop have done a pretty good job again of matching it. This caliper is going to go on. We've got new brake pads. I'm going to replace the brake pads on each corner as well, not just one side. And that's the next job to do before we hang the brake caliper on the wheel hub. The sliders have got to bolt in, then out come the brake pads. There's a brake wear sensor which slides into the brake pad, and when the brake pads wear down, it breaks this sensor and then throws a light on the dash to tell you need to replace them. Then I'm going to add a bit of copper grease to the back of the pads just to make sure they don't squeal when I put them in. Then the pads can go into the caliper and I knock the pins in along with the anti-rattle bracket to hold it all in place. Now I can slide it over the disc and tighten it to the wheel hub. Right, calipers on, brake pads are on the rear. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. I have got to push the pedal inside whilst my dad breaks the nipples on there and gets all the air out of the caliper. I'm just going to check this front. Should be okay. So my dad is cracking the bleed nipple on the rear brake caliper and you can see all the air and the dirt escaping from it. Whilst I'm inside the car, pumping the brake pedal, trying to get out all of that air. Once he's done the inside brake nipple, he's then going to do the outside until there's no air left in the system. Let's feel. Yeah, it's rock hard.
Great.
Get in there. And now that I've got a good brake pedal, my dad's going to move over to the right hand side and just replace the brake pads on that caliper as well.
Getting good at these now. Should be done in 3, 2, 1, done.
And he's also going to do the front right brake caliper. New pads are going on that, and we're also going to be fitting new pads to the front left one once all the parts turn up for it. Final thing to do on the rear is replace this air box where the air filter sits in. This has got a small break in it and we might have got away with reusing it. But on a really rainy day, if any water sprayed up in there and then it sucked water into the engine, it wouldn't have been a good day. So I bought a new air box, and after removing the old one, I could slide the new one in place, which was a little bit tricky underneath the rear quarter. I bolt that all down, slide back in the old air filter because it didn't look too bad at all. Then bolt on the access cover on the side. Job done with the airbox. Last thing to do now, the arch lining. It is a little bit rough and ready, but it is reusable. I don't think it's worth spending a lot of money on the new arch lining when the old one can actually be used, especially how much beating they actually get as well. With that done, the car can go in the air, and you can see we're actually missing part of an under tray from the rear diffuser which covers the rear of the gearbox, because this was the old one. And the new one is here. I think it's actually made from carbon fibre, so it's really rigid and it works as part of the aero with the rear diffuser, so it's quite important. Me and my dad have lifted that in place, bolted it down, and now that's most of the car underneath pretty much done. Time to bring the car down so we can start fixing the front end. There is no suspension on here, and all the suspension is here. Part of it's second hand, part of it's new. We got what we could get second hand and we got what we couldn't get new. First thing to go on is this, which is the suspension control thingamajiggy, because ours is broken, which is right in here. So I've got to get that off, switch that over, and that's going to be our first point of action. Let's go. Now the 600LT has electronically controlled compression and rebound on the suspension, but to know the right setting to do, it needs to know the ride height of the car, and the way it figures that out is with these sensors here. They sit on the body and then the swinging arm attaches to the lower wishbone. When the wishbone moves up and down, it adjusts the suspension to make it stiffer or softer to try and keep the car as flat as possible, because the flatter the car is, the more grip we're going to get. So these sensors are pretty important, else we're going to get a suspension fault. So on goes the new one.
Now that the sensor's on, next step, shocker.
That looks shiny.
That's because it's new.
For the suspension to even adjust, we need to have suspension on in the first place. So my dad's attaching the new shock absorber with the spring to the body of the car, and something the front shock absorber has which the rear doesn't is nose lift. This hydraulic line, which is connected into the top of the shock absorber here, pushes fluid into it to lift the front end up when you press the button in the car, usually when you're getting towards the speed bump. The next thing is the top wishbone, and the wishbone have these shims sitting behind it. When we get the four-wheel alignment done, no doubt there's going to be different size shims which are going to be put in that top wishbone. Then finally on the front, it's the lower wishbone. Again, also has spacers sitting behind it, which can adjust the camber in or out depending on the size of the shims. Arrival from the airbag team. Again, we're recycling. We're saving money by getting the seatbelts not only reset, but also spiced up with a little bit of orange. We've got orange seatbelts. They've changed the colour of them. Thank you again to the airbag team. We've been using them for years now. Never let us down. So let's pop this in, pop the seatbelts in, and on top of that, we do have the door airbag as well. So technically, after we fit the seatbelts and the airbag, we should have no airbag warning light. In fact, we should have no warning lights at the end of it. In fact, we've got to have no warning lights at the end of it, because remember, this car is from Greece. So to import it into the UK, we need to have an MOT certificate. So it's got to go through an MOT, which means no warning lights on the dash and no silly exhausts yet. Let's fit the seatbelts and the airbag inside. Fitting the seatbelts is always tricky, especially when you've got carbon bucket seats and a roll cage. The seat don't move forward and the roll cage isn't going to get out of your way. Just like removing them, they slot in behind this panel here. We put the seatbelt in place and then we have to bolt it to the carbon bucket seat as well. And I found it easier to just unbolt the seat to do it. That is in. There's a lot of orangeness going on, but they ain't got a bad colour match there. Orange seatbelt, orange harnesses. I don't know, it's quite cool, and I think it's an optional extra spec with the roll cage and that. That's looking good. Round 2 on the passenger side. And now it's the same for the passenger side. The airbag team have put in a new explosive in both of the seatbelts, and you can see that yellow plug plugs into the new explosive, and this should stop all of our fault codes. And also, if the car's ever in an accident again, the seatbelts will work just as usual. And now that's both of them in. Next step is the door airbag. That sits just in the top of the door behind this bracket. My dad slides it in place, puts both of the bolts in, tightens them up, and then it's a yellow connector again which goes into the explosive. And that is all the airbags back on the car. Okay, we're nearly there with the front of the car, but we've noticed an issue, and that's with this bottom arm. We bought this bottom arm second hand, but we've just noticed now the ball joint has got play up and down. This was like a £400 bottom arm, second hand. We've been trying to find a ball joint separately, can't find one. But in the end, we found another bottom arm on eBay. How much was this one?
£225.
£225 with a good ball joint in it. So we're just gonna send back, because we bought it on eBay, we're gonna send back that bottom arm, replace it with this bottom arm, and then we should be good to go. Mclaren wanted like 700 and what was it, like 70 quid?
Something like that.
And a 2 day wait?
Yeah.
2 day wait. Yeah, this is saved us really. So let's pop this bottom arm on, take that bottom arm off, and send it back to eBay. It's a good job we checked this before putting the wheel hub in place, else we would have had knocking suspension. Luckily, we've got the new one here, so we're going to remove the old one to put the new one in place. Now, we couldn't find a 600 LT lower arm, but the 720S arm looked exactly the same. That was until we went to fit the drop link. I know why it's different as well.
What, 720?
Because the 720S has different suspension, which has is hydraulically controlled, so you don't need an anti-roll bar. And this has got an anti-roll bar, and I've got a drop link, and now I'm putting the drop link, and I've got nowhere to put it, because the 600 LT uses electronic suspension and then an actual mechanical anti-roll bar. So I bet the bottom on the 600 LT has got a hole. Yeah. So we found a difference. Although the arms on the 720S and the 600 LT look the same, the McLaren 720S doesn't have an anti-roll bar because the suspension is hydraulically controlled between all 4 corners to try and save the weight of anti-roll bars, whereas the 600 LT has a mechanical anti-roll bar, and because of this, when I'm putting the drop link into the anti-roll bar, I've got no place to screw it into the lower wishbone. But it's just got that thread in it. That would be the difference. Well, all McLaren have done is drilled a hole.
True.
I think we do that.
And then you can measure from there to the centre of that to get your centre.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I think we're thinking outside the box. We need to now make a spot to make a 720S lower arm into a 600 LT lower arm. And that is what we're going to do. My dad's measured where the hole is on the 600 LT arm, marked it on the 720S lower arm, and now we're going to start drilling a hole into this bottom arm so we can tap a thread into it, just like the 600 LT lower wishbone. My dad's using a tap now, then is going to use the belt sander just to make the area nice and flat where the drop link goes into, and now we can see whether the drop link screws into that lower wishbone. And it's looking good. Look at that! Job in the town! How will they know? How will they know? If that is the only difference between the 720S arm and the 600 LT arm, then we've just saved a fair bit of money. But I guess we'll find out when we come to do the four-wheel alignment. Next step, the wheel hub. This slides onto the lower ball joint, and then we've got to push it up onto the upper ball joint and connect up the track rod end and everything else attached to that hub. Next up, new disc, because the old disc is going to go to one of you guys. We're going to sign it and we're going to give it away whoever buys some of the Miami merch, which we've got on HWBT.shop. Make it into a clock, put it on display, or refurbish it and sell it. Whatever you fancy. We're going to pick someone out of the next 100 orders. Another £1,500 for a brake disc. But before we fit it, I've got to fit the new brake pads on the front caliper, and that's going to be easier to do without the disc in place. Once I've done that, I can slide the disc in place, then slide the caliper over the top of the new disc. There is a few scuffs in that caliper, which I think will probably come out with a little bit of polish. Next up, the front tub. Here we go. Right, whilst my dad's doing Armstrong, we managed to get second-hand front tub. Oh, it looks brand new.
Brand new. You sure that's second hand?
This is literally brand spanking new, innit? Wow. Looks like we've got ourselves a bargain. Before we fit it, I'm going to connect up the battery because the tub almost obstructs the battery. Then once that's connected, I can slide in the front tub between the two front wings of the bumper. This is held in with 4 bolts, 2 at the front and 2 in the middle. Then there's a seal which goes all the way around the outside of it to stop the water getting into your storage. I then plug in the light and the 12-volt system, push that into the tub, and then there's another seal which actually sticks to the front of the tub, which we've taken off the old one, put new tape on and stick into the new one, and finally after that it's all the towing eye, the first aid kit and the puncture repair kit which sits in the front of it. Right, Neutron's got a job as well. This is a proper apprentice job. 600 LC on the other side, it's badge job time. Go on. Just explain, just this so I don't have to voice over it. Go on, you can do it.
Made a stencil. Dunno. 600 LT.
But it wasn't long until Neutron realised his stencil had a little problem.
It is Neutron.
See the 600 LT is slanted to the right, and then look at his stencil, it's slanted to the left.
Did you flip it?
You can't look at both sides at once.
There?
You made a decision.
I don't want to make a decision.
Alright, so look at that one.
You're 18, nearly 19 now, so you've got to start making decisions for yourself. You can't rely on your mum and your dad anymore. So, look at that. Take it in, remember it, and go and apply it onto that door over there. Yeah?
Come on, Neutron!
Come on, Neutron! Come on! Right, Neutron! Let's have it, Neutron! Come on, stick it on that door! Come on!
Come on!
Peel it off, stick it on!
I've already forgot.
Oh, you've not.
Say yes or no.
Just stick it.
I don't know where to put it.
That was perfect.
Swear. great.
Oh, that's start shouting
Too
and
low.
Tony like that again.
Too low.
Whoa. You do not shout at Tony. All you've got to do is stick it on! Stick it on the door! It's dark outside!
That's good.
Stick it on!
That's good.
Yeah?
You've got this. Come on, Neutron. Big boy pants.
I'm lining up with that.
Big boy pants. Yeah.
Hey!
Right, let's see what that looks like. Hold on.
Let's get the measuring tape out.
Get the measuring tape out.
How far is he away from the edge?
Oh, hold on.
I don't think that's that bad.
You ready? That's to the edge there.
Okay, let's find
I
out.
think he's got this good.
I think
he's got this good. I mean, he's a little bit out, but you can't see both sides at once. So,
You
Neutron,
can't look at both sides.
well done. I like that. That's good.
Saying that you can. Who would have thought it had taken so long to stick a badge to a car? But everyone's got to start somewhere. Next step, we're putting on the under tray, which does have a bit of damage to it. But we're going to drop this to a carbon guy once the car's passed its MOT inspection. We're almost there, almost there. Last bit, the wheels. These were fully perished. And as we've kept it kind of stock, we found some wheels online. The Mclaren lightweight alloys with the original tyres on, but again, they were second hand. The tyres have seen the track maybe a few times, but they're legal and they'll get us through an MOT. But these ones are upgraded. Carbon centre caps, mogged. Absolutely mogged them wheels. Get out of here. I thought as McLaren spent so much time trying to save weight with the 600 LT, it was only right to reuse their lightweight wheels on it, even though they were pretty expensive. £4,000 for the set second hand, and I may need new tyres. Right, the alarm's on again, I don't know why, but we're going to check fault codes before we show you guys. Why does that come on as soon as I put the ignition on? That is odd. What I'm going to do to start off is see what we've got on the dash. It looks like we've got a fault for an airbag and just the tyre pressure warning light. We still have the airbag light on and the alarm is just going mental. So first things first, I'm just going to scan the fault codes to see if there's any which we shouldn't have. Window switch, open circuit, window, open circuit. Because we don't have a door card yet, that's not back from the airbag team. But we've got no fault for the why the alarm's going off. So we thought the best thing to do now is to latch the doors shut, lock them, step away from the car and try again. Right, okay. Doors are latched. Still think something's open.
Is the front open?
No. Is it because the key's in the car? Yes. Right, that's like, don't move. That's the alarm's gonna go off. That light, yeah, light's gone off the dash. What's the warning? Mechanical release. The warning is because we don't have the switch on the door to open the door because the door card's missing. It's overreacting just because it hasn't got a door card on, but hopefully we shouldn't have any faults apart from driver door internal release fault. That sounds like a malfunction on an aeroplane or something, doesn't it?
Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
It sounds like something really bad's gonna happen. Yes, and no faults. No faults. Dash is completely clear. Come on, look at the dash, look at the dash. We're looking good. We're looking good. We only need that door card left back from repair. But for now, let me show you the car that we've just managed to rebuild in 9 days. Days later and £28,000 after that, and we have a rebuilt McLaren 600 LT. Bearing in mind, we still are waiting for a door card on the left-hand side to be repaired, and we need the tracking done as well, and we also need to register it inside the country. But other than that, I am absolutely over the moon with that. It looks so key. Like, I haven't had a silver car in, like, I don't think ever. And I think that looks really, really nice. Like, I need to get PPF. I need to decide whether we're going to go for satin PPF or keep the gloss PPF. But it's so aesthetically pleasing, that car. And I can't believe it's newer than the 720S. The interior is really nice. I'm absolutely buzzing. Even all the wheels, the brakes, it's such a clean looking car. And we've got it at a bargain as well. This car cost me €95,000, which is around £81,000. The car's cost me, which is probably one of the cheapest 600 LTs in the country. On top of that, the £28,000 to fix it. So all in, £109,000 for a complete 600 LT. We are well in the green, and we're at, now we're at 10 days. Exactly right now, but you know what, we did it in 9. And when you look at the other 600 LTs for sale, the cheapest one in the UK is £142,000. So I think we've done well. Went pretty smoothly, quick build before we head to Miami to carry on with the Bugatti Chiron. But if you remember earlier in the video, we did mention that it had a bit of damage. We brushed over a bit, and it turns out to be a little bit more serious than we first thought. So let me take you back. Hello, Matt from the future. We're now back with Matt from the past, and there is one thing that we didn't know when I bought this car, but we suspect it may have had a little bit of damage to it, and that is the carbon fibre monocoque. So the whole tub of the car is made out of carbon fibre, same as the Mclaren 720S. Makes it rigid, makes it light as well, and normally if the insurance see any damage to the carbon fibre, they'll completely write the car off as unrepairable because it's all weaved into one another. And we found some damage to it, which is just right here just under here on the tub. You see all the shards coming out. It looks like the brake, when the suspension's gone back, it looks like the brake disc has hit it in that perfect spot there. But for me, just looking at it, I don't think it's in like a structural place which is gonna like have any effect on anything, because there's nothing that bolts to this actual area. It's just like part of the whole shell, and it's not actually too deep. But to be sure, also it is 2 layers as well. Like when you put your hand through here, there's another layer behind it. But just to make sure, we wanted to call someone who does work with carbon to make sure they can repair it, and we're gonna get a second opinion on that. But I've got good hopes. Let's see what he says.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. You?
Good, thank you. We have got a little bit of carbon fibre we'd like you to take a look at.
Let's have a look.
Is that possible? I'm going to pass you over to Mr. Armstrong.
All on the corner of the tub. Is that something that you could repair?
Yeah, just zoom out a little bit. We'll zoom. Yeah, it looks like it stops at like that little opening, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it stopped here. You can get like behind it kind of thing there as well.
Yeah, it looks pretty localised. I think we can. Yeah, we'll be able to do something with that, mate.
That is the news we wanted to hear.
Good.
And how long would that take you to do?
It gets done in like stages. So if we've got the car for about a week, we should be able to sort that out, mate.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we just do like, it has to be done incrementally. So there'll be bits where we're bonding bits on, then bits where resin's got to cure, and all those different stages. But in a span of a week, we should be fine for that. Yeah,
wicked. Sounds good to me. Legend, thanks for that. I'll drop the car to you next week. Well, this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted.
Legend.
Nice one, cheers,
lads. Thanks, mate. See you in a bit. Bye. So luckily, that damage looks like it's going to be repaired, but it takes another 7 days on top, plus more expense there as well. But in 7 more days, we should have that carbon bit repaired, registered in the country, MOT, and then we can start maybe a few modifications on the 600 LT. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. What a car, what a repair, nicely done in 9 days. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
That just shows how lethal this car is. It has to have like 6 seatbelts.